Like, let's watch this shit now. It's complicated. Masculine and feminine presenting. Let's get in it. Let's get in it. Let's get in it.
Who do you perceive to be more feminine, straight women or gay men?
Oh,
Gay
depends
men,
on the
I think.
situation, but my mind goes gay men immediately.
Gay
Why?
men. Cause
I
some of
think
them
Hollywood
be
has shown us that. Hollywood has
some of them be mad flamboyant for no reason, in my opinion. Some of them be mad flamboyant.
portrayed the gay man as flamboyant, gay best friend, shopaholic. So in my mind,
But some of them be mad regular
coffee,
too.
I think Starbucks. I think cheeseburger. I think McDonald's. I think gay man. I think.
That's crazy because some of them be mad regular. If you go to Brooklyn, bro, I remember I was driving by Brooklyn. I see a regular nigga, and then out of nowhere, I look at my phone, look back up. He's tonguing down a whole nother man. I'm like, oh shit.
Hollywood best friend, girlier than me.
Gay men definitely. They take the cake. Because they're trying too hard. They're trying to be feminine. And women are already feminine. So it's an act. And I mean, it's an act because they have to act like a woman.
Who do you perceive to be more masculine, straight men or butch lesbians?
Straight men.
Why is that?
Again, it's kind of perception. It's what Hollywood has told us, what society has told us. But I think straight man, and I think caveman type, adjusting his whatnots in public. Butch lesbian
Can't
is
do that.
like the android version of a straight man.
What does it mean to be masculine or feminine?
I think that's changing. Perception is changing. I think.
So what's your
any
opinion
gender
though?
Can be feminine or masculine. I don't think there's terms on it necessarily.
But what is your
parameters.
opinion on it?
What is
You
the
didn't
difference
answer the question. You just went around it.
between masculine and feminine energy?
Oh, that's a good question.
What?
Hey, my name's Kevin.
That's a
I'm
him
musician
question. That's crazy.
And performer. I just adopted a rescue cat named Luna.
Cause she don't
I'm
know the
sharing my
difference.
disability story to help others start the conversation.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, can you help me put another 45 on?
Of course, I got you. What's up? You need a spot? Stop
No, I
by
don't
for
need a spot. I go to LA.
Good question, yes.
All right.
Y'all
Feminine
matching.
energy is more like accepting. I would say like more.
What do you mean more accepting?
engulfing, and like masculine energy is more like take charge. I would say.
I would say feminine energy reminds me of like. I think of the color pink. I don't know why.
Okay.
Let's see. Masculine, I think, for me, would be someone who looks like they have a big build, or either they're actually acting like a man and actually taking care of themselves like a man and their family like a man.
Like how?
Now, feminine
You right.
could be both, and
Taking
it
care.
doesn't mean that. Actually, it could go both ways because now. I was just telling someone, like, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be tough, but I have to be because I don't have a guy.
Why can feminine be both?
That's why you
but
probably don't have a guy.
masculine can't.
Because men will probably, even if they're not gay, sometimes they will, see stuff from a woman's point of view if they are in tune with themselves. And a lot of men who protect women understand femininity.
When two lesbians go out on a date, who pays?
Shit.
The one who asked the other one on a date.
When
That should be like.
two lesbians go out on a date,
That should be like
who
the same
pays?
thing now, but it's not.
Both of them. Or the one who argues less.
When two lesbians go out on a date, they often hold the door open for each other and split the bill. Why is it as soon as a man is involved, he suddenly has to do all the work?
I think that just goes back to like being a man, like we're considered the providers, and as a man you're expected to.
Steven, what's up?
take care of
What's
the
good,
woman.
bro? What's good?
I think that's just society norms. I mean, he opens the door for me, and I let it, and I like it like that. I just think it's the role you want to take. In some gay relationships, somebody's always dominant. Whoever wants to be more dominant or wants to feel that, I think, and that still goes back to like men and women.
His nose is
Why
red.
is there more
That shit crazy.
flexibility with gender roles in a same-sex relationship than
He's
there
using
is
makeup?
in a heterosexual relationship?
Well, in the sense of that, I think it's more flexibility because, in a same-sex relationship, you do have like more than likely the other person is really understanding what the other person wants. So in a situation like that or a relationship like that, you understand what the other person's want or what they're looking for. So you do understand just a little bit more instead of that. Do you have anything to say?
I think it's more flexible because that's just being gay. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be.
When a woman says she's tired of dating men, why do they often end up dating a woman who looks and acts like a man?
Maybe they still want the masculine energy, but they want to try different genitalia.
Why wouldn't a woman
They
just
put on a
prefer to date a
strap-on.
feminine man than a masculine woman?
Because if they still want that masculine energy, a feminine man may not have a lot of masculine energy, may not have more masculine energy than a masculine woman, if that's what they're desiring.
Because with women, you get more of an emotional concept. Women are gorgeous. I mean, have you seen women?
Yeah.
We have all of the parts that men lack.
Yeah.
And even though
Not
I
lack,
may
but fuck
dress
it.
and act like a man, I may be the one to open the doors and pay for dinner, I'm still a woman deep down. I still have the emotional depth. We could sit all night for 8 hours completely naked and talk about our feelings, and nobody's sexualizing the other person. We're just being sensual with each other. You lack that.
That's
from
you.
men.
Don't a lot
Yeah.
of men have the parts that women lack?
Yes, but I can attach my parts and choose their size.
If women are
That's
always
crazy.
right, how
That's
do lesbians
crazy.
settle arguments?
That's funny too.
The more masculine one has to take the L always.
Can you say it again? I couldn't hear that.
The more masculine one has to take the L always.
What does that mean?
To keep the
they have
relationship
to,
alive. No cap.
Just like please, like the more feminine to just like get along, like yeah, like okay, babe, like you're right, you know.
Just to de-escalate the situation,
So
I guess.
why would anyone want to be the more masculine one when the more feminine one just gets to show up and be spoiled?
Facts.
I honestly have no control over that, cause like, you know, like.
If a woman is bisexual,
Yeah.
does she hold her girlfriend to the same standards she holds a man to?
She should.
Why would any woman want to be the more dominant one when the submissive one gets to show up and be spoiled?
Because dominance has its own things. People like dominance like to be dominant because they get something from it, just like a
You
submissive.
could do when you want. You could do what you want when you want. That's the point. You could do what you want when you want. You take the lead. You feel me?
Person does.
What do you get?
From being dominant, I get spoiled just as much. I get to see the joy on my person's face when I do things like open doors and buy dinner and help out around the house. It surprises them, and I love it. I love serving my person. Dominance, really, you think submission is serving, but dominance is serving.
Yeah.
If women are always
You
right,
control.
how do lesbians
Make it easier.
settle arguments?
Rock, paper, scissors, and I mean that in the most literal way.
Do you believe in the concept of
Mm-hmm.
gaydar?
Yes.
What are the characteristics of a closeted gay person?
Ooh, for the boys' side, if he listens to Cher and Madonna, 100%. I don't
Cher
care
and
if he wears
Madonna?
pink,
What the
that's not a
fuck?
tell, but if he listens to Cher, if he's gonna watch Mamma Mia with you,
Who the
yeah,
What about for women?
if they're checking me out.
There really isn't any way to tell someone's gay without them being like behaviorally different. Like I can tell that like someone is gay by like the way that they walk, you know? Or like if they're wearing something like I'm wearing, like I'm bisexual and like I want people to know that. So like I'm not gonna wear like a typical like straight male like alpha male outfit, you know, like I'm gonna like present to the world that like, hey, like I'm bisexual, you know? So like yeah, so like it's in like the behavior, like the mannerisms of speech, clothing wear.
Why are gay people more aware of how their clothes and behavior present to the world than the straight women who complain that revealing clothing shouldn't get them unwanted attention?
Huh. That's a confusing question.
Do you want me to explain it, or do you don't understand it?
See, like every man on this video was clearly gay. But him, like I don't know.
Yes, I understand.
What I'm
I
saying
don't
is
know.
like, okay, if you're
He looks like it,
a lot
but
of gay
you,
men
but it's
will
like
dress a certain way because they want to let
that's
people
calm.
know that they're gay or bisexual.
If I had muscles, I'll wear
Wear,
that
like,
same
kind of
fit.
feminine-looking
No
clothes,
cap.
right? A lot of butch lesbians will like smoke cigars and like get a certain haircut that presents them as more masculine, so people
That was. He interviewed him after that.
know
The
that
other
they're more
girl.
of a okay?
Yeah.
So your image matters.
Yeah.
Okay, your image matters.
Definitely.
So once again, Why are gay people more aware of how their clothes and behavior present to the world than the straight women who complain that revealing clothing shouldn't get them unwanted attention?
Well, because if you're
It's
gay,
complicated.
and let's say like you're a guy, and you want to be perceived as a woman, then naturally you have to dress more feminine. You know what I mean? And then
Feminine.
for women who have always dressed a certain way, or that's their typical way of dressing, they feel like they shouldn't have to be bothered because that's how they should be dressed. You know what I mean?
Doesn't your image define who you are?
To an extent.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, to an extent. So, like,
Yo,
if I'm, like,
how
sagging
come
my
I didn't
pants
see
and I have, like,
Steven
a
on this
shirt
shit, bro? My
in
fault,
back
bro.
pocket, like, you're gonna know, like, okay, that dude's a gay
Steven, I
dude,
do
but,
stream both
if I don't wear
on
a belt
YouTube
that day, my
and
pants are
Twitch. How come
sagging,
it didn't
then
show me it here,
maybe
bro?
my
What the
pants are just low
fuck?
today, you know what I mean?
A few years
He
ago,
said, can y'all
everybody
react to
agreed on
Andrew
simple
Tate?
principles, like gender, for example. All of a sudden, these ideas became
That
complicated,
nigga gone now, though.
controversial,
He
and
gone.
sometimes
He
downright
gone now.
confrontational. What do you think happened?
I think that it was like people not being upset that other people don't feel the same way that they do.
Wait, what was the question?
That might fall under the entitlement category. I don't know.
What was the question?
My pants are
I didn't
just
hear
low
the
today,
question.
You know what I mean?
A few years ago, everybody agreed on simple principles, like gender, for example. All of a sudden, these ideas became complicated, controversial, and sometimes downright confrontational. What do you think happened?
We just don't care no
I
more.
think that it was like people not being upset that other people don't feel the same way that they do.
Yeah,
That might fall
kinda.
under the entitlement category.
That's a good answer.
I don't know. I think that might be entitlement of, I want to be special. I mean, gay rights has made huge leaps and bounds, and
No cap.
You want to
The world really changed after that.
do whatever you want to do with your sexuality in your life, and that's fine. And if you want to be treated equal as everyone else, that's cool too. But I don't, necessarily agree with having to put all these labels on all this craziness. Like, that doesn't make sense. You're either a male or female. Like, I'm not a doctor, but it's pretty easy to tell.
Do
Yeah.
you think it's okay to label people?
No, not at all.
If it's wrong to
It
label
has to.
people,
Nah, I
why
ain't
do
gonna
some
lie.
people get offended?
It is wrong, but at the same time, people gotta be labeled. It's just what it is. Like, if you a pedophile, you a pedophile. If you a rapist, you a rapist. You know what I'm saying? If you a woman beater, you a woman beater. That's
If you don't
labels.
refer to them with
you
the
know what I'm
right
saying?
pronouns,
Sometimes
isn't
you
that
have to.
labeling people?
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to.
Well, I
Sometimes
guess
you have to.
You label and you refer to people the way they would like to be labeled and referred to. You don't give them labels yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they're labeling themselves. Like, if they get upset that we're not saying the right things, they can just let us know, and like then we'll tell them the right things. But like, if we don't know what they are, then we're just gonna assume what we see.
I kind of got to ask you this question because I
Go
think
for
it's funny. In the acronym LGBTQ, how did they decide which letter came first?
I think
Nah,
that
that's
maybe
crazy.
Women's entitlement for the Lesbian Women's Act. I don't know.
So could it
That
be?
sounds cool.
That's a great question
It's
because
so
I never
easy
thought
to
of
get your
that.
windshield replaced using Safe Light. Tell the people why you haven't done it. It started off as a chip and it just keeps going. So
Y'all
what do we
niggas
do
mad
now?
close to each other.
I don't know if QLBT sounds very cool.
So could it be because ladies first?
Very, very well could be. Ladies are always first, though. That's never gonna change if you're a gentleman.
Could it be because
Sad.
ladies first?
Yes.
Could it have been settled in an arm wrestling tournament?
Probably rock, paper, scissors.
Why didn't lesbians claim the G for themselves?
Because we didn't think of it.
Aren't all lesbians gay, but not all gays are lesbian?
Damn, bro. You're not wrong. A hetero man has this logic. You're not wrong.
Aren't all lesbians gay, but not all gays
How they
are
change the
lesbian?
setting?
Yeah, but lesbian is like
They changed their whole
specifically
background.
for
That's
women,
crazy.
And gay is like for men and women, but like lesbian is for the women.
Why not just combine the G and the L into an H for homosexual, or just get rid of the L?
Different strokes for different folks, man. I don't know.
Why not just combine the G and the L into an H for homosexual?
You know what? That would be inclusive. I think we can look at that. Maybe it's in the gay constitution. We
They're
can
not
make some
gonna look at it.
amendments.
Or maybe just get rid of the L.
Hang on.
Most of these words
Hang on.
you can't
Let
get
us
rid of
not be
that.
forgotten on the day after Pride Month.
Why do women seem to bond better with gay men?
Because I think women relate to gay men more because gay men are typically feminine.
I just thought, like, the way I see it, like, they could act slutty around them and they're not gonna
So I
touch
feel
them.
like they like relate to each other. They have common interests.
If gay men love men and aren't controlled by pussy power, why are they more likely to support women's issues than men's issues?
Because
That's a good question.
every woman has a gay best friend for the most part, or somebody in their life.
Why are women so welcoming of the gay community, yet so quick to shame a man as gay when they don't get what they want?
That's a good question.
Wow.
That's a good question.
That's a great question. I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
What do you
I have
think?
an answer for that.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they
Why
selfish
are women
regardless or
so
not.
welcoming of the gay community, yet so quick
Look at
to
this
shame
guy.
a man as gay when they don't get what they want?
Look at this guy.
Who does that?
Well, a lot of women will attack a man's masculinity when they don't get what they want.
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so if they're their friends, they're probably not going to want to hurt their feelings. But if it's someone that you're dealing with, you want to tell them the truth. And you want to make sure that they understand what you want.
A few years ago, everybody agreed on simple principles, like gender, for example. All of a sudden, these issues became complicated, controversial, and sometimes downright confrontational. What do you think happened?
The world is becoming more, like I said, it's like more people are being indulgent, and the laws are changing for one. You have a lot of people that are out of the closet, and it's a lot of media. There's a lot of television that shows and promotes it. I mean, be gay if you want to be gay, but we don't have to see it on every show. And
Dead
pretty
ass.
much, it's
Dead ass. Every new show, there's always a gay person, bro. Always a gay person. And now, nigga, you see more dick than you see titties. Like, it's crazy.
everywhere.
Look at the show The Boys. That was the most, like, in that other show, with Zendaya on it. Forgot that other shit. Everybody was talking about it. Like,
Just
they
being
showed dick.
thrown into people's
They
faces.
just showed
Even
dick.
the kids.
Like,
I was
that shit
at a
annoying,
book
bro.
reading, and they had a drag queen there, and that's just not cool.
So you feel like it's an agenda that's being pushed?
Absolutely.
If a person can identify as whatever they want, why does your identity even matter in the first place?
It
Gangsta.
doesn't.
So then
Gangsta.
why do so many people talk about how important their identity is?
Because they want to feel important. The
I
fuck?
don't know, and they shouldn't. They just shouldn't. I just feel like we are just all one alive being, and it's like,
You ever heard of identity politics?
no.
Identity politics means I deserve special treatment because I'm a woman, or because I'm gay, or because I'm black, or this or that.
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
It shouldn't matter.
But it certainly does.
It certainly does.
That's exactly what our politics are today.
Because people want to be what they are at the time that is convenient. Like,
Dead ass.
I may be black and gay, but if I need to be black at the moment, I will be black. But if I need to be gay at the moment, I need to be gay. Or if I'm white and I want to be white at the moment, I'll be white. If I want to be gay at
Dead
the moment,
ass.
I'll
People
be
be
gay.
doing that shit all the
So-
time, bro. All the time. Especially white people. White people want to act so fucking gangster, bro. And then as soon as the authorities come, they play victim. They play victim, bro. That shit be crazy to me, bro.
That's
All
why
the time,
they feel
bro.
like that.
All the
because they
time.
want to be able to choose whichever one
All the
is going
time.
to get them what they want.
Right, but isn't that just manipulative and disingenuous?
Absolutely.
So how do you trust and respect those people?
You have to actually know who you're talking to. If they're doing it like that, then you don't trust them because they're wishy-washy and they can sway.
That shit crazy, though.